Hey guys, Amy here with Hale Company, and in this video tutorial, I'm showing you guys how to design this awesome 3D arch front door ornament. Look how adorable this is. This is going to be a great seller this season. The door is interactive. It actually opens. There we go. Look at how adorable it is, with a custom message on the inside. Okay, let's get started. All right, so here's what you'll get with the 3D arched front door ornament kit. You're going to get the back piece, and this you will press double-sided. You're going to get this piece, which is the inner door frame, I believe, or the outer door frame, I'm sorry. This is the inner door frame, and this is the door. You'll also get one of the wreaths. You'll get the doorknob. You will get two of these. These are what we call the nuts that are going to secure the door. You're going to get two of these hinges. This is what you'll hook the door into. And then you're going to get the door latch as well. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to need to peel off the protective coating on all of the pieces on both sides. It's going to take me a minute, so I will go ahead and speed up the video for this process. Okay, a little pro tip. If you order these from us, once you receive them in, I would go ahead and peel all of the protective paper off of them and get ready for the busy Christmas season. The protective peeling is there mainly for shipping and also to prevent from the laser beam charring the coating. So it's really for the protection of the coating during the laser process and for during shipping. So more the laser process than anything. Okay, next, I'm going to show you guys how to line these up. Unfortunately, you have to make sure you press this on the correct side for the inner door message. So what I would do is I would go ahead and line these up so that you can see like this, and obviously the hinges go on the left side, so we're going to turn that way. Now, I don't know if you can see, well, I missed some protective coating here, so that doesn't help. All right, so I don't know if you can see, but this is not lined up correctly, so it's the wrong side. So make sure you figure out which side of that to press on, or you'll be like me and waste a few. All right, so now I have it on the right side, okay? So this is the side that's going to have the message on. So we know that. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to put the transfer on this piece first. All right, so I went ahead and used Pro Spray. And because I want to make this go a little faster, you can do tape, but the adhesive spray will work just fine as well. All right, so I'm just making sure I got the right side, and I do. All right, so this is going to go like this. Make sure I have it lined up correctly, and I do. All right, so we got one piece down. I'm going to go ahead and finish aligning all the other pieces up, and I'll speed up the video for this process. Okay, for the door knobs and hinges All I'm doing is printing out a square of whatever metal color I want to use. And then I'm just cutting it in half because they're double-sided, so you got to do both sides. Well, all but the doorknob. So I put some adhesive spray on it, and then I'm just going to align these on here however I can. Just like that. Okay. Next, I'm going to take some tape, and I'm just going to secure these in place with some tape on top of it. Now, if they move a little bit, it'll be okay because it's just a solid print. Okay, so just like that. Hopefully y'all can see that. Okay, so now we're ready to press. I'm just going to flip everything over and align it on my protective paper. All right, I'm going to place a piece of protective paper on the top. All right, I'm pressing at 375 for 45 seconds. This is a recommended time and temp for our MDF, but you may have to change it based on your equipment. Okay, so we are done pressing this piece, and this piece. We got to do the reverse sides on these pieces. All right, we got them all back on the transfer, so time to flip them over and press again. 375 for 45 seconds. Again, it's just a starting recommendation. All right, all done. All right, we're going to allow them to cool for a few minutes, and then we're going to go over and start assembling them. Okay, so we've got all of our pieces here, and here are some tools you're going to need to assemble. First, I like to use the Star Bond Thick Gap Filler. This stuff is very forgiving, but also dries pretty fast, so I use this for all my wood projects. Next, you're going to need some clamps, and these are to secure the pieces in place after you glue them. I like big clamps, and then I also use those little baby clamps as well. Next, you'll need these little spongy, cotton swab. I get these off of Amazon. You could use regular cotton swabs, but I like these best because they spread the glue very well. Next, you're going to need some tweezers. These will be useful. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is we are going to put the outer frame and glue it first to the bottom door message. So we're just going to put a little dab of glue all the way around the frame, and you don't need a lot, just a little bit, just like so. And then next we're going to take our little spongy cotton swab, and we're just going to spread it around to make sure it gets over the entire frame. And I like to use this method so that I don't get a lot of over excess glue on the pieces, causing it to run on the overall finished product. All right, so now we're ready to place it onto the back ornament, and you just need to line it up. Hopefully y'all can see this, and just make sure it's lined up at the top and the bottom and the sides. This is why I love this gap filler, because it allows me to move it around a little bit if I need to. All right, so once you get it lined up where you want it, then you're going to want to put your clamps on. I'm using the bigger clamps because they have a little bit of a stronger hold on the top and the bottom. And then I'm going to use my little baby clamps to hold it on the sides. All right, so now we're going to let this dry for approximately 5 minutes and then come back and finish the assembly. Okay, so while that outer door frame is drying, I'm going to go ahead and glue the wreath on the door and get that out of the way. So same thing, just put a little dab around on the wreath and then take your sponge or your Q-tip and just spread it around like so, and you want to make sure you get it on every bit of it so that it holds really good on the door. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and place it on the door, and I like to place it just in the center, just like so, and then I'm going to hold it here for a few seconds once I get it in there, and then I'm going to add my clamp. So you want to make sure it dries a little bit before you put the clamp on, just for a few seconds. Otherwise, the clamp can cause it to shift. All right, so it's been 5 minutes. Our outer door frame is dry now, so we're going to go ahead and remove all of the clamps. And we are going to start working on gluing the inner door frame. And it looks so good. Ooh, I love how this is coming out. Okay, same thing. So you're going to just put a dab of the gap filler all the way around the inner door frame. You don't need a lot, remember, because we're going to spread it with our little spongy Q-tip, or any regular Q-tip works great. So we're just to put a little dab all the way around. All right, just like that. Now I'm going to take my little spongy Q-tip thingy here, and I'm just going to spread it around nice and evenly, making sure I'm getting it around the entire outer door, or inner door frame, excuse me. All right, we're ready to place it in. Now this is one of the easier pieces because it fits in beautifully. So all you got to do is just set it in place. And then we're going to add our clamps back on. I'm going to use my big thick clamps at the top, another one at the bottom, and then I'll use my baby clamps on the sides. Okay, we allowed it to dry for about 5 minutes, and now we're taking the clamps off. Look how good it looks. Okay, next we're going to glue in the door hinges. All right, so you're going to take your gap filler and you're going to put just a dab at the very end of the door hinge. All right, and just a little bit is all you need. And then we're going to place that door hinge in the little notch right here. All right, and then we're going to hold it in for just a few seconds to kind of get it to dry a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to put a baby clamp on it to hold that hinge in and until it finishes drying. All right, so now we're going to add glue to the second hinge, and again we're just going to take our gap filler and add just a tiny bit to the bottom of the hinge. All right, and now we're going to place it into the little slot. All right, and then we're going to hold it in there for a few seconds and allow that glue to set, and then we're going to put the baby clamp on it to hold that hinge in place as well. And we're going to allow it to dry for 5 minutes. All right, next it's time to glue in the little door lock mechanism here. So same thing, you're just gonna add a dab of the gap filler to the very bottom of the door lock. All right, and then we're going to place it into the little notch as well. Now, because this sits in flat, this will be easy. You're gonna wanna hold it down for a few seconds to get it to set in place. And then if you can see right where it's flat, that's where you're gonna put one of those baby clamps on there to hold it in. All right, time to assemble the door into the door hinges. All right, so you're going to slide the two hinges in, or slide the two little door latches things into the hinges. And as you can see, I flipped it upside down so that you could better see how to put it in there. And all right, there we go, got it in. Now it's time to put the little bolts on. All right, so this is what holds love how the door it's coming out so that it doesn't fall out. See how well the door functions. Now you can try it on one side, and if it will not go in, flip the little bolt over and try it on the other side. All right, once you get it in place, then you're going to want to push it all the way down. So as you can see, I placed the top one in and I kind of left it there. I'm working with the bottom one now. Sorry, we're out of view. And then once we get that on, we're going to push them down. All right, so it's in there now. And now I'm going to take my fingernails and I'm going to open the door a little bit and get my finger on that other side, and we are just going to push down. Now, you're going to have to be a little aggressive with it to get it to go down, but once it does, you'll be happy about it. All right, there we go. And we got them both in place. Okay, so we are ready to put the doorknob on. I accidentally pressed on the wrong side, so I had to backtrack and press on the right side. So this is how the door is going to go on here. The reason why we wait till last to put this on is because you want to know exactly where to place it based on where the hook is at. All right, so with your door handle facing to the left, that's how you're going to put your glue on. You do not need to put glue on the little handle piece, just right here. And as you can see, a glob of it came out. So we want to clean that up. So just gonna dab it like that. There you go. Now this is where your tweezers might come in handy. Okay, so I'm gonna just turn it like this. So I'm just gonna use my fingers. I'm going to place it right there is where it should go. So hopefully just a little bit down on there. So once you get it on, just kind of hold it down in place. You can take a clamp and just put it right over it so it holds it. There you go. So now we are going to let this dry, and then we'll come back and we will put the ribbon on. Okay, so I'm sure it's on there nice and good, and it is. The last step we're going to do is just put some ribbon through. Very simple. All right, and then I'm going to add some beads. Okay, 1 and 2. Hopefully that other one will get in there. All right. Nope. It's going to be a booger. All right, so if it gives you a little bit of a hard time getting it through, you can just take a piece of tape and just wrap it around there. Doesn't have to be perfect because you're probably going to take it back off. And then shove it in. Voila. All right, so now I'm going to tie some knots. I like to do 2 knots to ensure that the beads don't slip off. Okay, do it one more time. Ah, should have made my string a little longer. I'm going to go ahead and take my tape off. All right. Do one more knot. All right, that looks good. And then we're just going to do one more knot to hang it with. As soon as I can get the tape off my finger. All right. And there we go. Just going to trim that off. Okay, the last thing I like to do is I like to take some rubbing alcohol and a soft microfiber cloth, and I like to wipe down the ornament really good, just to get all my fingerprints and smudges off. So just gently wipe around where you've been touching everything. And then I'm going to open the door and wipe on the inside as well. And the message. Okay, and just wipe off the back. Okay, and we're all done with our 3D arch front door ornament. I just love how these come out. They're so adorable. So many possibilities. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again real soon.